Hi, this is Christine from Miss Ink Stamps. So today I'm going to do some techniques with a gel press, and you need a brayer as well, which I have on the side there to really help this work out. So I have a collection of Distress Oxide inks, and I'm going to use a Miss Ink stencil and create a bunch of different backgrounds. So right now I'm just putting on some speckled egg Distress Oxide ink, really smushing it down, try to get the color down. Then I've decided I wanted to use mostly um, the Faded Jeans color, and then just a little bit of the broken china. So I'm gonna just put a little bit, drop a little bit of the broken china color down. So there are the colors again. So then you just lightly use the brayer and smush the color around so it's a little bit random. And I have the Art Deco stencil from Miss Ink Stamps that you put down on top. And then I'm using Nina Solar White 110-pound cardstock, so pretty heavy cardstock. And I'm just firmly pressing down, and then I've decided on top of it, because I want to make sure it works out the first time, I'm using my brayer on top to really try to pick up the color. And that's the first piece. So I'm now going a little bit faster because I'm kind of repeating the same thing I just did, but the color's a little bit different, and I'm using I think I used the brayer too much. I think it's good to not do as much smushing around as I did in the first time. So here, again, I'm pressing down firmly, and I love how that one turned out. And now I want to show you, I'm going to actually create two more prints. So I put this through the die cut machine, and it picked up the color. And then I'm going to do a third press right here, where I'm going to pick up the remaining ink that's on the gel press. And so there it is. And so I have kind of three backgrounds that I've made. And now I'm going to do the same thing with different colors. So I've sped up the video again, keeping it kind of fast. I'm using Distress Oxide, Speckled Egg, Bundled Sage, and the newest color, Rustic Wilderness. And again, getting one print with the stencil in place. And I love how that turned out. Getting another print by putting it through the die cut machine, and getting a third print of what's left over. And by the way, I've saved all these backgrounds. Some I liked right away, some I was a little bit unsure about, but as you'll see, I'm going to do something else to some of these printed backgrounds just to play around with it further and see if I like it. So here I'm just doing a plain print with the same three colors, just so you see that it really creates this beautiful background, splotchy background, which is just great for a card. So there I have 4 different types of backgrounds. So here I like to experiment and just pretty much play. So I like the imprint, how when you run it through the die cut machine, it really imprints on the paper, so it creates some more dimension. So I did that here. And then now this one I'm actually going to use, and I really didn't like this background at all at first, and I actually love it after I've used this glitter paste. So I'm just putting on Couture Creations glitter paste in a frosty tone, and I will put the link below to this product of what I used. And so I'm just putting glitter paste all over it, and so that's another way you can. So here it is, Hopefully you can see that it has some dimension and a lot of shine to it, and I just totally love it. So I'm experimenting some more, and I think it's good to show the things that work, and as well as the things that may not be as perfect, but and I may not be as fond of, but maybe someone else will be. So um, I am now putting color on top of the Deco Art stencil to see if that will make my imprint brighter, and um, that I'll love it more. So right now I'm just laying color on top. It's also going on top of the gel press itself. And I'm going to lay my final color down now. So I won't use the brayer on this because I'm afraid to get rid of some of this color that I've put down, that it won't be bright enough. So I'm just gonna, as is, lift it off and adhere it to some paper and run it through my die cut machine and to make an imprint. So here it is. It definitely is brighter in some parts, and the stencil has made an impression, so I'm glad about that. But again, it's something it's still not perfect, so I'm going to work on it. So here is another thing that I tried to get a nicer impression. This is some gold watercolor, and it's very thick. It's from Peerless Watercolor. I'm going to put my stencil down again, and I'm going to try and lay down as much color as I can. I don't know if it's okay to use acrylic paint, so that's why I chose a watercolor paint that would be able to come off quite easily. So I'm first going to make an impression with my die cut machine, and here it is. And except for a small shift that I made when I put the stencil down, as you can see in the center, I really love how it came out. So this is probably something I'll try again to get perfect. And of course I'm going to use what's on the gel press because that's too good to just get rid of. So anyway, I hope that this just encourages you to just experiment with what you have. You just never know what'll work out, and something that might not look so great, if you do something else to it, might come out really looking pretty great. So this is a little more rough. I guess the stencil moved around a little bit, so it's not as clean as I'd like, but I probably will still use it on a card at some point. So here I've stamped some images, and I've die cut the panel down and put a sentiment, and I felt there needed to be a little snow underneath, so I'm just measuring that out now. And that's pretty much it for the card. So really the background probably took the most amount of time. And here is the finished card. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.